Welcome back to the channel. My name is Adam Smith, and today in this game unboxing video, very excited. I've been looking forward to this. The final version of Cyberpunk 2077, Gangs of Night City, the board game. This is, as it states on the front of the box, from CMON Games and is the exclusive edition as it came from the crowdfunding campaign. So if you want to find out more information on what came as part of the crowdfunding campaign, you can go check that out. However, inside this video, we're going to take a look at all the components that come inside of the base core experience of this exclusive edition, and of course what ends up going to retail and what changes might come. I'm not 100% certain on that, but I want to show you, if you're expecting this thing to come in the mail in the near future or if you've just received it, the things that are inside the box, and then we can dive into a setup video together and a how to play to show you how to get this thing to the table. Without further ado, let's check out all the components inside. We'll start with the back of the box. Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City is a competitive game in which 1 to 5 players take on the role of ruthless gangs vying for control of the underground in the glittering hellhole that is Night City, clash with other gangs in the meat or on the net as your enterprising band of toughs seeks to gain dominance over the criminal underworld that rules the streets. Only the boldest will be remembered, and your street cred will pave your way to the top. When you first open the box, you'll find the rulebook. We'll take an up-close look at that, and then we're also going to check out the game board and, of course, the inserts of components underneath. When you first open up the rulebook, of course, you'll have the table of contents on the left-hand side. You also have your overview as well as your list of components. We'll be taking a look at all the components up close as well. And that list of components continues on for a number of pages. You can see a number of different miniatures here, all labeled out with exactly who is who. And also you have your gangs components here on the right-hand side. There's a whole bunch of story decks, story components, single-player components, which will be of high interest to myself, modules right here, and the game board. We're going to take a close look at the game board in just a moment. But first, we'll focus on the look and feel and formatting of the rulebook. When you hit page 10 of the rulebook, you get into basic concepts, things like resources, combat cards, opportunity cards, points of interest, presence, and dominance. We now get into the setup of the game. There are 8 total steps to get this game to the table. Illustration in the bottom left-hand corner. Also on the far right-hand side shows the player turn, and on a player's turn, you have the choice to either activate or reclaim. And from this point on inside the rulebook, you get into the meat of how to actually play the game itself. Here's a great idea as to the illustrations, the layout, the formatting of what you're going to expect through the number of pages you'll need to read to get the game to the table. Now, this is certainly of interest to individuals on this channel. When you're coming at the game looking to play the single player mode, you're going to want to flip to page 22 as you'll see setup instructions here as to how to set up for solo play. In total, there are 3 pages specific to the single player mode. This one and this one here covering gameplay, opposing edge runner behavior, and opposing gang behavior. A very nice touch at the back of the rulebook is a whole section for common slang. So for those individuals that have not played the video game and are not really up to snuff on the slang used in Cyberpunk, this is going to help you out. And as with almost all CMON games, on the very back of the rulebook, you're going to find a turn summary, which is nice once you've completed reading through the rulebook and have most of the rules in your head. This is really what you're going to be referencing as you flow through the game. Here's a look at the game board. Granted, not a great one. It is a sideways look because this game board is actually vertically extremely tall, but it's easier on camera here to have this thing going horizontal so you guys can actually get most of it in the shot. However, in just a moment, I will take some close-up shots of the game board. It's worth mentioning there are 2 sides to this game board. And if you're playing with 4+ players, this is the side you're going to use. If you're not playing with 4+ players and you're playing from 1 to 3 players, you'll be using the other side of the game board. And now you can see the 1 to 3 player board on the opposite side. At this point, I'm going to turn things vertical so we can see things straight on, and I'll zoom in. We'll show you all kinds of different parts of this board. At the very top of the board, you can see the street cred being captured here across the top all the way up to 30. You see upgraded cards here, story card slots, as well as the Watson area here. Again, iconography I won't speak to right now, but all that's detailed inside the rulebook. We have the Netrunner activation running along this side. Actually, all the activations within the game, like Netrunner, Techie, and anything else will be along the board edge. So while the Netrunner runs through the net, of course, and goes through varying levels, increasing as it goes along, the Techie activation here states control required. This is an edge runner thing, and you're going to have that all tracked right there. Below this, off in the bottom left-hand corner here, you'll see in a second there's an opportunity area down there. But now you're starting to see more of the actual artwork for the game board itself for this area control. We've got ourselves City Center here, a little bit of Haywood, which is off camera, and then we have Westbrook over there on the right. As you can see, we have the opportunity section over here. We have Pacifica in terms of an area here in pink, and then over here in blue, we have Santo Domingo. Now let's head back inside the game box. We have a number of dashboards and punchboards to check out. The next layer coming out of the box is something I removed already. That is a box full of miniatures. We're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But first, I want to show you at the very bottom of the box an insert, a tray insert for cards, tokens, and other gameplay aspects you can bury inside of here, which is quite nice to see that we have a spot to place things and not all of it is full. And you can also see there's iconography in the top right-hand corner for these three areas right here, specific things to go in those trays. So it's nice to see CMON putting that effort in on that front. Now, in terms of sleeve cards, I don't know whether or not these are going to be able to house sleeve cards, but maybe in a future comment on the video, once I actually dig into it, I'll give it a test and see. Before I show you all these miniatures up close and personal, I want to show you both trays that came inside of the miniature box so you get an idea as to how many there are, because there are duplicates of the same sculpt, and I'll only be showing the unique sculpts up close. You'll see dice in here. We'll take a look at those, the bases as well. As we move through the trays, we have more below. have to admit, going through those miniatures was a ton of fun, especially if you're a fan of the video games. You'll see a ton of characters that will remind you of moments and time frames within the game itself. It was cool to go through all those, and it's also very exciting to see so many unique sculpts inside this core box. Now, here are 5 packs of story cards. We have the Cost of Success, Subtile Warfare, An Inconvenient Gift, we have Heist Plan, and finally, Night City Tour. I will not be opening these up as I do not want to spoil anything to do with the story whatsoever, but you can see the top card of each of these. And that's going to wrap up the game unboxing video for Cyberpunk 2077 Gangs of Night City, coming from CMON Games. Stay tuned to the channel and subscribe if you haven't already, as I dive further into this game in the near future. Also worth mentioning, if you have this game in hand already and you've already got it to the table, let us know your thoughts. We would love to hear it. And also, really hope this video was informative for those individuals that might be seeking this out in the future, or they're waiting for their pledge to arrive. Let us know in the comments down below either way. And also, if you're not part of the Discord server or the Facebook group, we would love to have you in either spots or both. There's links for that in the pinned comment video description as well as on screen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, keep on rolling solo.